Good evening. My name is Philip Wollen. I was Vice President of Citibank, specializing in corporate finance. And in the course of my travels, I witnessed cruelty, greed, and environmental vandalism so egregious that 30 years ago I decided to use my money to help children, animals, the environment, and the terminally ill. Today I support some 500 projects in about 40 countries. Well, the most destructive vector force on the planet today is the meat and dairy industry. In human history, only 100 billion people have ever lived. 7 billion people are alive today, and we torture and kill 2 billion sentient, living, loving animals every week. We stab and suffocate 1 billion ocean animals every 8 hours. If human beings were killed at the same rate, we would be wiped out in one weekend. 10,000 entire species are wiped out every year because of the actions of one species, and we now face the 6th mass extinction in cosmological history. Meat and dairy kills people with cancers, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, and many other diseases. It is poisoning oceans, devastating forests, and bankrupting economies. Livestock's greenhouse gas emissions now far exceed those of transport, and the impact this calamity will cause in one generation will reshape the geopolitical landscape forever. Factory farms now threaten a pandemic to rival the Black Death, which wiped out half of Europe. It takes 50,000 litres of water to produce 1 kilo of beef. It takes 1,000 litres of drinking water to make 1 litre of milk. 1 billion people today are hungry. 20 million people will die this year from malnutrition. Cutting meat by only 10% will feed 100 million people, and going vegan will end malnutrition forever. The 6th commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," applies to the murder of any living being. It was inscribed on the human breast long before it was proclaimed from Mount Sinai. Leo Tolstoy said, "As long as there are slaughterhouses, there will be battlefields." Now, in the New Testament, Jesus says, "Behold the birds of the air and the lilies of the field. King Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as one of these." And for good measure he added, "Whatever you do to the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me." And in the Old Testament, the prophet Isaiah said, "The wolf will lie down with the lamb, the leopard with the young goat, the young lion with the young ones of the herd, and a little child will lead them." So it is imperative that we shut down these grim and ghastly gulags of despair, these torture chambers, once and for all. If we do not do so, this could be our final century. Not only will we not have a future, we will not deserve to have a future. It is a challenge that the Apostle James faced head-on. Faith without works is futile. I urge His Holiness to make the growing vegan movement a powerful, meaningful, and enduring foundation stone of His ministry, and bring the golden rule of the gospel into every home and into every heart. Thank you.